Hi there, I'm Aileen. In this video, I will be sharing my favorite puppets for vocal exploration in the music room. If you love puppets or you've been wanting to use puppets but you're not totally sure how, then you are in the right place. Let's dive in. All right, so first, the what and why of vocal exploration. What exactly is vocal exploration? If you're an elementary music teacher, this is likely a term you've heard, but just to lay the groundwork, the foundation here, vocal exploration is when we have our students explore their voices, like oh, or ooh, or ooh, 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 right? And this could be with pathways where they're following a pathway on the board. It could be through a chant where they're using this type of voice or using this type of voice. And it can also be with animal sounds or puppet sounds or whatever that might be. So I'm going to show you some examples of that. But why do we have students explore their voices? Because it helps them match pitch. So having students, explore their voices, especially when they're getting up into this kind of voice or going, woo, it helps them find their head voice and their singing voice. So that's why we use it. And it's also fun and engaging, especially your little ones will love exploring their voices. It's just super fun. All right, so I'm going to show you my favorite puppets for the music room, specifically for vocal exploration. All right, so the first one I'm going to show you is simply a cat puppet. How cute is this little cat puppet? And the way that I use this for vocal exploration is to have students make cat sounds, so they can go like meow or meow. Or you can also have them discuss like what other sounds a cat might make. So they might go like, see if I can get my, I can get my thumb in the arm here. So they might go or something like that, right? So you can have them make other sounds that a cat might make. If you have students who can do a purr, that's great. I can't really do that, but just simply having them go. Or you could take a song like Naughty Kitty Cat, where with the game there's a meow with the game anyway, and you could have students do a meow with the puppet, like Naughty Kitty Cat, meow, you are very fat, meow, you have butter on your whiskers, Naughty Kitty Cat, scat, right? So that's the cat puppet. I'm going to show you another one. All right, so since we're using a cat, we're going to use a dog as well. So there are plenty of dog puppets out here, but this one is one of my favorites. And the first sound you might think to make is just woof kind of thing, right? But dog sound that I really like to have students make is a whine, like a puppy whine, like is a really great way to get them up into their head voice. So with that, you could simply like make the sound yourself and then have them echo. So woof, woof, and go back and forth like this, right? So that's the dog. Another really great one for vocal exploration is the snowy owl. What I really love about this puppet is there's a stick inside of here where you can like twist its head so you can make it go all the way around. But the reason I really love the owl is because the sound an owl makes, ooh, ooh, is really great to get students up into their head voice. Ooh, ooh, right? So, yep, that's another great one for vocal exploration. All right, and then I really love this one. This one is a firefly. So what you can have them do with something like a firefly or a bird or about anything that flies is you can have them follow the pathway of whatever the puppet is. Finger puppets work really well. So you can have them go like, woo, kind of thing, or ooh, right? So you could do it and then they could be your echo, or they could just simply follow along as you do it. The really cool thing about this firefly is, you have to figure out, if you can see this right here, there's a certain spot on the firefly puppet that you can click and it makes it light up. So this would be really fun if you turned the lights off and then had them follow, but they could actually see the firefly. So super fun. Okay, and here's one more for you, the narwhal. What I really love about this, you could use this similar to the firefly, but the horn, I think, makes it even easier for students to follow. So if they're looking at the horn, woo, and just being able to follow that horn, I think is a really nice visual. And who doesn't love a narwhal? All right, another great way to use puppets is to teach a song or a chant through them. But if specifically we're talking about vocal exploration, I'm going to show you a vocal exploration chant where students are using their squeaky voices and their grumbly voices, but we're going to do this with puppets. Where are you going, big pig, big pig? Out in the garden to dig, dig, dig. Out in the garden to dig,
sorry, ma'am, but I'm only a pig and all I want to do is dig, dig, dig.
So it's super fun because it's using your squeaky voice
And your grumbly voices,
right? So you could simply teach the chant with that, or you could have a student holding the puppet, and every time that part comes up, they're moving the mouth and everybody's saying it along, or students could even solo. So once the students know the chant well, then you could have one student sing that part and one student sing that part. And again, they're exploring their voices. All right, so if you're wondering how to start using puppets in your music room, if you're using something like the dog puppet, this could simply be a transition from a song or a chant about a dog. So something like Doggy Doggy. Let's say your students just play Doggy Doggy, and you could even use Doggy Doggy to teach the song. So I've actually done that. I'll show you what I mean. So I've used these puppets to teach Doggy Doggy. So like, doggy, doggy, where's your bone? Someone stole it from your home. Who stole my bone? I stole your bone. So they can, kind of figure out which part is which and understand that the song is sung by two different people, just like Big Pig is, spoken by two different characters. But then you could say, oh, we were just singing about a dog. What kind of sound does a dog make? And then students could go, woof, or, oh, what other sounds might a dog make? And then you put the dog down and you're off, right? You're off to the next song or activity. So just a quick little transition as a way to use puppets for vocal exploration. Another way you might do it is, let's say you are done with Doggy Doggy and you have them make some dog sounds. You could say, I have some other animals here. Maybe you can help me make those animal sounds too. And then you grab your owl and you say, what animal is this? And you say, what sound does it make? Ooh, ooh, beautiful. Oh, and I also have, what is this here? And they say, a cat. And then you say, okay, what kind of sound does a cat make? And they go, meow, kind of thing, right? And you can keep on going. With some of these, I'm not exactly sure what kind of sound a narwhal makes, but you get the idea, right? So you could just simply get out all of your puppets and have them make different animal sounds. And then I would look at your own puppet collection. If you do have a puppet collection, I'm somewhat of a hoarder of puppets. I have lots and lots of puppets, but I would look at the puppets that you have first and kind of figure out, okay, how can I use these? And then figure out songs or chants that could work well with the puppets that you have, or maybe you do want to go ahead and purchase some puppets of your own. All right, so I am going to leave the puppet links below. So if you want to check out some of the puppets that I talked about in today's video, you can do that. I also have a first grade lesson plan that I will link to below that is free. You can download and use with your first graders. Vocal exploration is a great activity to use with kindergarten and first grade. So this will give you some more ideas for first graders. If you want to check out my website at aileen'smusicroom.com, I have a blog there as well as a podcast called The Music Room. And you can also check me out on Facebook at Aileen's Music Room. I have a page and a Facebook group called The Music Room with Aileen Miracle. My Instagram is at Aileen's_music_room, and my TikTok is at Aileen's Music Room. So I hope that was helpful for you. Please comment below if you have any questions or if anything was helpful for you, and have a great day.